everyone. I know it's been a really long time, but as you can see, I've been a little busy. This is baby Adeline, and she was born August 1st and was 6 pounds 3 ounces, and they ended up inducing me a little bit early at 39 weeks, and here she is. We're so excited to have her around. She is such a joy and such a great baby. But my hands have been a little full recently with 3 kids under 5. But this is gonna be the Hooked on Phonics review that I have been promising. Hi, honey. So yeah, I guess I'll get into it. Oh, also, if you haven't seen my previous video, you might want to go watch that first. That basically just shows how much Hooked on Phonics cost and what all came with the program before we actually started using it. Alright, so we'll get into it. Thank you guys. We had bought the Hooked on Phonics program, and I just felt like my son wasn't ready for it because he was 4. I felt for a long time that he had issues with his speech. We brought it up with his pediatrician when he was 3, and they said, oh, you know, he's just 3, give it some time. Then he turned 4, and they said, oh, he's just 4, and now he's 5, and nothing has really improved. So we changed doctors, and I didn't mention to his new doctor the concerns that I had with his speech, but the moment he heard my son talk, he said, does he have an issue with his speech? And I said, yeah, I thought for, you know, ever since he was 3, I really thought that there was issues there. So he's going to be going to speech evaluation at the end of the month, so I'm really excited for that. So I just felt like he really just wasn't ready. So we started Hooked on Phonics in September 1st of this year. That's when we started our homeschooling for this year. And my son is now in kindergarten. And I was still a little bit skeptical on how I thought this was gonna turn out with this program. I've heard good things about it, but I don't know, I just wasn't sure. But let me tell you, I am so impressed. We've been in school for maybe, I think, 10 weeks now, and he has learned how to read so many new words just in the past 10 weeks, and I think it's really, honestly amazing. He still, you know, has issues. He has issues saying his R's and his L's, but even with that, I feel like this is a really good program to help him do better with his speech. It kind of just gives us a little extra practice. He thinks it's great. We've pretty much just been going at our own pace. Once I feel like he's mastered the words from that lesson or that unit, then we move on. We're a little bit behind where I would like to be. I was hoping to finish this level 1 booklet for the end of the year, and we might get through it by the end of the year. We might go a little bit into January, so we won't be too far off. We've basically just been taking it one lesson at a time, and we spend maybe about 15-20 minutes a day doing a lesson, and it's been really great. Now, it did come with a DVD, and they want you to watch the DVD first, and then after you watch the DVD, then it wants you to practice the lesson. What we've been doing is just practicing first, reading our little mini stories in here, reading our books, I have some here actually, reading these books, and then once I feel like he has a really good grasp on the words, then we watch the video. An example of how the video works: it'll have the ending AT or at, and it will put a letter in front of the word, like C, to make cat. And you have a couple seconds before the woman on the video tells you what the word is. And so what we do is, once I feel like he's mastered all the words in a lesson, then I let him watch the video, and it's almost like a little test, and he enjoys trying to, you know, beat the lady on the video, and he likes being faster than her. And sometimes, you know, when I'm playing with him, obviously I know what the words are, but I'm like, ooh, ooh, I don't know, is that the word? And he'll say it before me, and I'm like, oh man, I almost got it, but I'll get you next time. And he enjoys, you know, being faster than me and knowing the word faster. He sees it, he knows it, he remembers them out of memory, but he also has no problem sounding it out. And so now I've noticed when we're out and we're at a grocery store and he sees a sign, he'll start sounding things out, and he'll point to words and he'll say, I know what this word is and I know what that word is. And it's been really, really awesome. I mean, I really cannot believe how many words he has learned in only 10 weeks. I'd say it's probably in between 60 to 80 words is what we've learned so far, just specifically in this book. But it's more than that. What the skills he has learned in this book have helped him learn other words that we haven't done in this book, like I was talking about with the signs. And you know, when we're out and about, he understands now how to sound out words. If there's a word that has an ending that we've gone over and he hasn't, you know, wasn't specifically in the book, now he can recognize those words. And he absolutely was so excited to read his first book. These are the 2 books that he is able to read right now, and he is at the end of the week we're going to try reading a 3rd book, and I don't think he's going to have any issues with those. So the first book was Cat, and then he learned how to read Tag, and he was just so excited. He's like, I read my first book. His dad came home. He's like, Dad, you gotta watch me. I read this book. Do you want to hear me read the book? And he was just so happy, and it's just really cool for kids. All kids will pretty much enjoy reading their first book all by themselves. So far, I'm pleased with this program. I think, don't quote me on this because I can't remember exactly, but I want to say it was about $50 or $60 for this program. And after we finish this level 1, we're going to move on to the level 2, and I definitely plan on buying the additional Hooked on Phonics programs because so far it has worked. Seems really simple, but maybe that's why it works. For some it might be a little bit repetitive, but I think in the beginning, I think it's kind of good that way. I don't really have anything that I dislike about it. I'm very pleased with the results so far. I feel like it was money well spent, that's for sure. I was so nervous. Homeschooling can be kind of intimidating at first anyways, especially, you know, with core subjects, math and reading and writing. Those are, you know, your foundations. If you don't do well in those at an early age, it makes it really hard later on down the road. And being responsible for teaching him, you know, those subjects was kind of scary. I wasn't sure if I, you know, could do it. I'm not a teacher, and I'm kind of, you know, sometimes thought, you know, what if I mess up, or what if I'm not what's best for him? This program has made it really, really easy for me, and he is really learning to read, and I think it is helping him build a love for reading, which is really, really important. I want him to not just be able to read, but I want him to enjoy it. And I think this program has been really good at getting them to love reading. Just the way it's set up, how you have, you know, the stickers as the reward system, and every couple lessons you have this little book that you will learn to read. There's plenty of these smaller books. And then at the very end, there's a larger book that they can read, and I bet you he's going to be so excited when he can read that book all by himself. I'm very pleased. A lot of the programs that we've purchased, including this Hooked on Phonics, it really allows me to breathe a sigh of relief because it's working. My son loves it. It's easy for me. You know, I didn't have to create a ton of different lesson plans. I already have so much stuff to do. I like how most of our homeschool curriculum is already kind of set up where I don't have to do too much. I really like that. We actually only do Hooked on Phonics 3 days a week. So in 10 weeks, when you think about, you know, that's 30 days. 3 days a week for 10 weeks, and all the things he's learned so far in that amount of time is absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend this product to anyone with young children. I think depending on your child, you could even be successful with this for 3 and 4-year-olds. I just felt my son just wasn't quite ready for it, and I'm glad that we waited. If you have a 5 or 6-year-old, they are still going to benefit from this, and it's definitely something I'm glad we bought. I really can't believe how much he knows already, just from the little bit of time we spent with it. I just want to thank everybody for being so patient with me, because I know, again, it took so long for me to make this video. But if you are having any doubts about Hooked on Phonics, please just try it. I am not being paid by Hooked on Phonics. I bought this program myself. It wasn't given to me or anything. We just have had a really successful school year